What's up, guys? Captain Marcus. I got a 1992 Johnson. That's a two-stroke, four-cylinder outboard. This is the 88 Special. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace about a week ago. The guy told me it was water ready and ready to go. It had power, trim, and tilt on it. The motor was on it, I should say. Got it home. When I bought it from the guy, he had it on the engine hoist. He had it on the engine hoist, so it wasn't actually hooked up to anything. So when I got home, I hooked all of the harnesses and everything up, put power to the motor, and wasn't able to lower the outboard. It was in an upright position, to be able to trailer it or whatever. But how can the motor be water ready if you can't even lower it down to get it down into the water? So got them playing around with the relays and everything, found that the relays were shot. They were melted up and the whole 9 yards. So replaced that and was able to get some continuity through the wires. But the throttle assembly with the power tilt trim switch, that wasn't working. So then I had to go on Amazon and order a tilt trim switch and hardwire that into the system. So I got functionality out of the power tilt and trim now, but threw the muffs on. I threw the muffs on the system and it cranked up, put fresh oil in the 50-to-1 mixture in the oil. Put the 50-to-1 in and it fired up, but this cylinder on the port side, the two cylinders on the port side, they were running nice and warm. But then you got two cylinders over here on the starboard side, there and there. And my alarm at the throttle assembly up front started going off like an overheat. Alarm started going off nonstop. So I immediately shut the water down, shut the engine down, and came back here and just got the filling around. And like I said, this side of the head was warm. We was getting a little bit of water discharge out of the telltale, but it wasn't a real powerful stream. This side of the motor was extremely hot to touch. You can only hold your hand on that motor cylinder, the top one and the bottom one, for maybe 1 second before you would basically scold your hand. So I got to doing a little bit of research, and I found that we got two thermostats down inside of the housing that's feeding this set of cylinders over here, and then we got this other black hose that feeds this side of the motor. So what I'm thinking is the thermostat on the port side is still functioning and allowing that water to come through and up through the head, whereas on this side the thermostat is stuck and not allowing the correct amount of flow. So that's what's causing that side of the head to overheat, and I don't want to mess this motor up because this head, it's got good compression, about 125 on each cylinder. So that's what we want. So next issue is accessing this thermostat housing, and on this Johnson you basically have to drop the lower cowling off, which I don't want to do because I already know from previous research and whatnot that the bolts are going to be corroded, and they're going to break off. We're going to have some bolts right here on the front that we're going to have to try to loosen up, and then it's going to be 2 bolts right there to drop the back, and they tend to break off and then you're screwed. So the only other option we got is to cut an access out to be able to get a socket to access the bolt right there, right on the left side bottom of the housing. We got a bolt directly in the center, and then we have another bolt right there under that stainless steel clamp. And the only way to do that is I'm gonna have to cut an access right there, along there, and back up here in order to be able to get my socket up in there, extension to take that thermostat housing off. Because this aluminum, there's a couple ways I can attack it in order to put it back. I can TIG weld it up, or we can just fabricate something, fiberglass it, who knows. But I'm gonna just weld it back up since I got my TIG set up and spool gun. We got options. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mark it up with some painter's tape where I want to cut my access, and then we'll make another video on the next step. So stay tuned. It's your boy Captain Marcus. This is a 88 Special 1992 Johnson 2-stroke, and it's on a 1972 Starcraft Star Chief 19-footer. Thanks for watching, guys.